Hi everybody, Leah here with your weekly card reading starting Monday the 4th of December 2017. So we're only 3 weeks out from Christmas and 4 weeks until the new year. So this is a really important time to be finishing off anything that you need to finish off for this year, so that you can start 2018 on a fresh note. So anything you need to finish off, really start to focus on that and get it done. I will post a link to a reading I did during the week for what you need to complete for this year. So you just have to choose a card 1 to 3 and then listen to that video and see what it is for you. So I'll pop that into the comments. So the first card for this week is Queen of Air. And this card tells you that it's time to make objective decision making, clearing away all that no longer serves you and seeing the humour in a situation. So when we talk about finishing things off and letting go of stuff you don't need, completing things, there can be a feeling of loss when you're sort of letting go of stuff. And it might be material things. It might be just clearing out the clutter, giving stuff away, donating to charity, having a garage sale, just getting rid of stuff you don't need that's kind of holding you back or bringing you down. But we can have an emotional attachment to these things and material things, people, situations, whatever it is. So this card's just reminding you just to really take a moment to think about it, be objective, try to, feel the emotion, but try not to be swept away in that. Really bring some logic into it as well and just think, why am I holding on to this? Do I really need it? And how am I going to feel if I let it go? Am I going to feel better without this weighing me down? And that will give you your answer to whether you still need it or not. And seeing the humour in a situation, humour helps with everything. We can get too serious in life, too bogged down, just too, things can feel heavy. And so, bringing humour back in, bringing joy back into life. And it might be just watching some silly, Christmas movies that are just silly but fun, and you don't have to think too much about them and you can just enjoy them for what they are. So find ways to just bring that humour and joy back into your life. And if things happen that aren't ideal, try and see the humour in it as well, because that will help you to deal with it and find your way through that a lot easier. So the next card is Seven of Water. And this card tells you that there is a complex decision to be made. You need to do research but stop procrastinating. So you most probably... you'll know what this probably is as soon as you hear this, me say about this card. You'll know what your decision is that you need to make. So look into things fully. Don't sort of just jump in there and make a decision for the sake of making a decision. Do your research. Talk to other people if they're helpful and supportive. So don't rush in, but don't sit on this for too long either. You need to actually take action. So do your research, look into it, find out what you need to know to help you make the decision, and then make it. So take action, and this will probably be to do with some of that letting go of stuff as well for this week. So then the third card is the Six of Fire. And this tells you that there's victory. Good news is on its way, and public recognition or rewards. So if you do the work, let go of what you need to let go of, make the decisions, take action, do what you need to do, and you'll have a good outcome. It'll be a positive outcome. You'll feel better. It might be that you're acknowledged for your part in someone else's, success as well. If you've been taking a supportive role of somebody else this year, then they're probably going to acknowledge your help and your role in that. And it's also a reminder too to acknowledge the people that have helped you, because sometimes, and we don't do it deliberately, we don't just take people for granted or just assume that help will be there, but we are so grateful for their help, but sometimes we forget to verbalise that and show them that. So this card is also a reminder that, with your success, most probably there's been people that have helped you to get there, so don't forget to thank them as well. So my healing cards this week 2 came out. So the first one's hydration, which is kind of, talking about water is kind of funny with all the rain that we're having at the moment. But it can be, you know, when the weather is cooled down again, we can kind of forget to drink water. And so it's just a reminder, keep hydrated. Our bodies are largely made up of water, and so we need that to function. Don't overdo it. Drink if you're thirsty, basically, but just remember that. And also too, sometimes when we think we're hungry and we're looking for food, it's actually thirst, so we can get those two things a bit confused. So just a reminder to have a drink of water, and if you're still hungry, then go and eat. Especially in this time of year, there's a lot of Christmas parties, and you know, there'll be snacks sitting on the table at work and all of those things, and that temptation's there. So just a reminder to eat mindfully and keep yourself well hydrated. And the other card that came up is meditation. Again, with this time of year, it's busy, and it looks, you know, you're going to have a busy week. You're doing all of this internal work and external work and taking action and making changes. And so sometimes that can get overwhelming. We can get really caught up in the busyness and our expectations and responsibilities and what we need to get done. You know, it might be just battling the shops to get your Christmas shopping done and all the people, and you know, it can be quite chaotic. So this card's just a reminder to just take that time out when you can this week, even if it's just each morning before you start the day, before you get going, just sit there and just breathe some nice deep breaths, and that'll just help you get really clear in your mind about what it is you want to achieve for that day, and you'll be much more productive rather than sort of running from one job to the next and not finishing anything and feeling even more overwhelmed at the end of the day. And at the end of the day, a nice little process too is also to just sit quietly, just let your mind wander to wherever it wants to go to, and things that you may not have done that day, or things you might have forgotten about, will come to mind, and you can write them down, and that way you can go to bed knowing that you've got those things there ready for the next day. You're not going to forget, and so you can just have a good night's sleep, because sleep is so vital at this time of year as well when it's busy. So I hope you have a fantastic week. There's still time to order your 2018 card reading if you want to. It's $50 for 14 cards. That will be emailed to you, so just private message me for payment details for that. I just hope this week, I feel like this could be hard for some people, coming into Christmas and the new year. It can bring things up, you know, maybe this year hasn't gone as you'd hoped, or maybe life isn't looking now how you thought it was going to look at the end of this year. Maybe you haven't quite achieved the things, you know, the goals that you'd set for the year, and that can bring up a lot of stuff. So if that's happening for you, you know, really just take the time this week to take care of yourself, eat well, stay hydrated, do your meditation, you know, write new goals, and then break them down into small achievable steps. So, you know, your big goal might have been for this year to change careers, and it just didn't come about. So, but put it down into, you know, set yourself some smaller goals, like, you know, enrolling in a course that's going to lead you in that direction, and those kinds of things. And as you achieve those smaller goals, eventually you'll hit that big goal, but it just makes it a little bit more achievable, and then you get wins along the way. So that's just come up now, so I don't know who that applies to, but I hope it helps somebody. So have a great week, and I'll talk to you again next week. Bye.